So for this assignment, I was asked to describe my current meaning and understanding of death. The reason why I took this course and the reason why I was a little bit excited to make this video is because I feel like I have a much different perspective on death than most people, at least in the Western world. Uh, I'll start off by saying that for most of my life, I've had the exact same outlook on death and the afterlife that most people have, at least in the Western world. And what I mean by this is, to give an example, I just went to a Brady graduation where everyone was asked the same series of questions. One of the questions being, what do you fear most in life? Every single one of them said death. And I work in long-term care where I can tell you, if not every one of them, at least most of them also fear death, even though a lot of them don't have the best quality of life. Now, I've learned through several years of just being ridiculously interested in spirituality, consciousness, metaphysics, things like that. I've learned through a lot of texts and a lot of videos and lectures and things like that that's not really the case, at least in my opinion. I think what most people fail to realize is that you have a physical body and you have a spiritual body. You can call that your soul, you can call it your consciousness, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Every religion kind of agrees that there's a physical and an ethereal body, and the two are interconnected as long as you're on this planet and you're living. Now, what happens when you die is that the physical body dies, and this is going to happen no matter what, but the consciousness and your spirit lives on kind of a different vibrational frequency in a different metaphysical plane than physical matter does. And it's almost like the laws of energy of the universe, where it cannot be created or destroyed. It's just kind of something that's there. And when you die, when your physical body dies, your consciousness lives on. It's eternal. It never goes away. Some people believe that it's reincarnated. Some people believe that you just kind of get absorbed into the collective consciousness of the universe, and that's fine. Whatever you believe, it's hard to kind of prove it one way or the other, right? Because we're all on this physical plane and you can't really escape it. But I personally believe that when you die, your spirit lives on, your consciousness lives on, and it transcends the three-dimensional plane and kind of goes into this metaphysical plane of existence that a lot of people consider the afterlife. Now, I grew up thinking of heaven and hell too, but essentially, from what I understand, is they're kind of the same place. Now, you can, just as when you're living, you can lower or raise your vibrational frequency to live in a place that you consider heaven or hell. So if you die and you live most of your life in happiness and love and the vibrational frequency of love, then you'll go to a place that you could call heaven. Now, if you live your life and you're a terrible person, you're angry, you're fearful of your entire life, you live your life in the vibrational frequency of fear, then you're going to go to a very low vibrational frequency place that could be considered hell. And it might look like that to some people. So I think that basically when you die, your spirit lives on, and it's not bound by three-dimensional time and space where vibrational frequencies are limited. That you go to a place where you can raise your vibrational frequency to somewhere beautiful that you could consider heaven, or you could lower it by your emotions and by your life patterns to a place that you consider hell, your own personal hell. And that's what I think happens, and I think that a lot of people stay there and eventually come back to whatever you want to call it, whether you want to call it the collective consciousness or whether you think that you get reincarnated. think that's kind of up to you. Anyway, thank you. Sorry, it was a little